Hello, children. Today we are going to learn Unit 6 Light. Children, we all know about light. Light is a form of energy which travels as electromagnetic waves. The branch of physics that deals with the properties and applications of light is called optics. In our day-to-day life, we use number of optical instruments. Microscopes are inevitable in science laboratories, like telescope, binoculars, cameras, and projectors are used in educational, scientific, and entertainment fields. In this lesson, we are going to learn about spherical mirrors like concave and convex, and also we are going to learn about the properties of light, reflection and refraction, and their applications. Let's start with the topic reflection of light. Light falling on any polished surface such as a mirror is reflected. This reflection of light on polished surfaces follows certain laws, and you have studied about them in your lower classes. Let us study about them little elaborately here. Laws of reflection. Consider a plane mirror M dash that is shown in this figure. Let AO be the light ray incident on the plane mirror at O. The ray AO is called incident ray. The plane mirror reflects the incident ray along OB. The ray OB is called reflected ray. Draw a line ON at O perpendicular to M dash. This line ON is called what? Normal line. The angle made by the incident ray with the normal, that is I is equal to angle AON, is called angle of incidence. The reflected ray OB makes an angle R is equal to angle NOB with the normal, and this is called what? Angle of reflection. From this figure, we can observe that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. So, we can write angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Also, the incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. So, these are called the laws of reflection. So, what are the laws of reflection? The incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. When you see the diagram, you can able to understand. The angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. These are the laws of reflection. You might have heard about inversion, but what is lateral inversion? The word lateral comes from the Latin word latus, which means side. Lateral inversion means sidewise inversion. It is the apparent inversion of left and right that occurs in a plane mirror. Why do plane mirrors reverse left and right, but they do not reserve up and down? Well, the answer is surprising. Mirrors do not actually reverse left and right, and they do not reverse up and down also. What actually mirrors do is reverse inside out. Look at the image below and observe the arrows which indicate the light ray from the object falling on the mirror. The arrow from the object's head is directed toward the top of the mirror, and the arrow from the feet is directed toward the bottom. The arrow from the left hand goes to the left side of the mirror, and the arrow from the right hand goes to the right side of the mirror. Here you can see that there is no switching. it is an optical illusion. Thus, the apparent lateral inversion we observe is not caused by the mirror but the result of our perception. What is real and virtual image? If the light rays coming from an object actually meet, after reflection, the image formed will be a real image and it is always inverted. A real image can be produced on a screen. When the light rays coming from an object do not actually meet but appear to meet. When produced backwards, the image will be virtual image. The virtual image is always erect and cannot be catch on the screen. We studied about laws of reflection. These laws are applicable to all types of reflecting surfaces, including curved surface. In our earlier classes, you have studied that there are many types of curved mirrors, such as spherical and parabolic mirrors. The most commonly used type of curved mirror is spherical mirror. Spherical mirrors. In curved mirrors, the reflecting surface can be considered to form a part of the surface of a sphere. Such mirrors whose reflecting surfaces are spherical are called spherical mirrors. In some spherical mirrors, the reflecting surface is curved inwards, that is, it faces towards the center of the sphere. They are called concave mirrors. In some other mirrors, the reflecting surface is curved outward. They are called convex mirror. Image formed by spherical mirrors. In the case of plane mirror, we used only two rays to understand how to get full image of a person. But for understanding the nature of image formed by a spherical mirrors, we need to look at four specific rules. Let's see all the four specific rules. Rules for the construction of image. To find the position and nature of the image formed by a spherical mirror, we need to know the following rules. Rule 1. A ray passing through the center of the curvature is reflected back along its own path. That is shown in the figure. The center of the curvature is represented by the letter C and focus point is represented letter by F and P is the pole. Okay. Rule 2. A ray parallel to the principal axis passes through or appears to be coming from the principal focus after reflection. So when you see this ray diagram, we can able to understand that middle line is called what? Principal axis. So a ray is what? Parallel to the principal axis, and after touching that mirror, it reflects back through principal focus, that is represented by the letter F. So this is the what? Rule 2. When a ray parallel to the principal axis, it reflects back through principal focus. Rule 3. A ray passing through the focus gets reflected and travels parallel to the principal axis. So here in this ray diagram, a ray is passing through the principal focus. So after touching that mirror, it's reflect back parallel to the principal axis. So when a ray is parallel to the principal axis, it reflects back through principal focus, and a ray passes through the principal focus, it is reflected back to parallel to the principal axis. Rule 4. A ray incident at the pole of the mirror gets reflected along the path such that the angle of incidence APC is equal to the angle of reflection BPC. Okay, here when you can see this diagram, you can able to understand a ray passes and reaches at the pole and reflect back. So these incident and reflected ray makes an equal angle, that is A APC is a what incident ray and BPC is called reflected ray. So angle I is equal to angle R. Now let's learn image formation by concave mirror. We shall now find the position, size and nature of image by drawing the ray diagram for a small linear object placed on the principal axis of a concave mirror at different positions. Case 1. When the object is far away, it means at infinity, the rays of the light reaching the concave mirror are parallel to each other. So now the position of image is formed at the principal focus F. Nature of the image is real, inverted and highly diminished in size. Case 2. When the object is beyond the center of curvature, here the object is placed O dash, that is what object. Okay, so where they kept it is beyond the center of curvature. C is the center of curvature. So the position of image will be formed between the principal focus F and center of curvature C. So where the image forms between the principal focus F and center of curvature C. Now the nature of image is real, inverted and smaller than object. In case 3, when the object is at center of curvature, where the object is placed on the center of curvature C. Now the position of images, the image is at the center of curvature itself. Okay, in the same place only the image also forms. So now the nature of image is real, inverted and same size as object. So I dash is represented what image? It is in downwards. Okay. O dash is the what object. Case 4. When the object is in between the center of curvature C and principal focus F. Okay, so O dash, that is object kept in between the C center of curvature and focus, principal focus. So now the position of image formed is beyond C. Okay, so I dash is the image. So now nature of image is what? Real, inverted and magnified. Case 5. When the object is at the principal focus F. So now the object is kept on the principal focus F. Nature of image. No image can be captured on the screen, nor any virtual image can be seen. Finally, case 6. When the object is in between the focus F and the pole P. Position of image is what? Is behind the mirror. So keep it in your mind. When the object is kept in between focus and pole, position of image is formed behind the mirror, not in front of mirror. Now the nature of image is what? Virtual, erect and magnified. Sign convention for measurement of distance. Let's see this diagram and understood clearly. We follow a set of sign conventions called the Cartesian sign convention to measure distance in ray diagram. In this convention, the pole P of the mirror is taken as the origin, that is the center point. The principal axis is taken as x-axis of the coordinate system. First one, the object is always placed on the left side of the mirror. Next, all distances are measured from the pole of the mirror. From the P will measure. Next, distances measured in the direction of incident light are taken as positive and those measured in the opposite direction are taken as negative. In the diagram itself they given the direction. Okay. All the distances measured perpendicular to the above, the principal axes are considered to be positive, and all distance measured perpendicular to and below the principal axis are considered to be negative. This sign convention for spherical mirrors we will use for problem sums. It is very important. Let's we learn mirror equation. This is the basic mirror equation. The expression relating the distance of the object u, distance of the image v, and the focal length f of the spherical mirror is called the mirror equation. So 1 by f is equal to 1 by u plus 1 by v. This is the basic mirror equation. F means it's a focal length and u means distance object, v means distance of the image. Linear magnification. It is represented by the letter M. Magnification produced by a spherical mirror gives how many times the image of an object is magnified with respect to the object size. It can be defined as the ratio of the height of the image, that is hi, I means image, to the height of the object, o means object. So how to find the magnification? M is equal to hi divided by ho. The magnification can be related to the object distance u and the image distance v. M is equal to minus v by u. V means image distance, u means object distance. So, therefore, M is equal to hi divided by ho is equal to minus v by u. Uses of concave mirror. Dentist head mirror. In dentist head mirror, a parallel beam of light is made to fall on the concave mirror. This mirror focuses the light beam on the small area of the body, such as teeth, throat, etc. Makeup mirror. When a concave mirror is held near the face, an upright and magnified image is seen. Here, our face will be seen magnified. Other applications. Concave mirrors are also used as reflectors in torches, headlights in vehicles, and searchlights to get powerful beams of light. Large concave mirrors are used in solar heaters. Image formation by convex mirror. Let's see the ray diagram and understood how the image is forming by convex mirror. Any two rays can be chosen to draw the position of the image in a convex mirror. A ray that is parallel to the principal axis, that is rule 1, and a ray that appears to passes through the center of curvature, rule 2. Note, all rays behind the convex mirror shall be shown with dotted lines. The ray OA parallel to the principal axis is reflected along AD. The ray OB retraces its path. The two reflected rays diverge, but they appear to intersect at I when produced backwards. Thus, I dash is the image of the object OO dash. It is virtual, erect, and smaller than the object. So, the nature of the image is virtual, erect, and smaller than the object. Uses of convex mirrors. Convex mirrors are used as rear view mirrors in vehicles. It always forms a virtual, erect, small sized image of the object. As the vehicles approach the driver from behind, the size of the image increases. When the vehicles are moving away from the driver, then image size decreases. A convex mirror provides a much wider field of view. It is the observable area as seen through eye, any optical device such as mirror, compared to plane mirror. Convex mirrors are installed on public roads as traffic safety device. They are used in acute bends of narrow roads such as hairpin bends in mountain passes where direct view of the oncoming vehicles is restricted. It is also used in the blind spots in shops. Speed of light. In early 17th century, the Italian scientist Galileo Galilei tried to measure the speed of light. In 1665, the Danish astronomer Ole Romer first estimated the speed of light by observing one of the 12 moons of the planet Jupiter. He estimated the speed of light to be about 2,20,000 km per second. In 1849, the first land based estimate was made by Armand Fezio. Today, the speed of light in vacuum is known to be almost exactly 3 lakhs km per second. That is 3 into 10 to the power meter per second. Refraction of light. Let's do this activity to understand the refraction of light at air and water interface. Put a straight pencil into a tank of water or beaker of water at an angle of 55 degree and look at it from one side and above. How does the pencil look now? The pencil appears to be bent at the surface of water. This activity explains the refraction of light. The bending of light rays when they pass obliquely from one medium to another medium is called refraction of light. Medium is air medium, water medium, glass medium. These all will say medium. So light rays get deviated from their original path while entering from one transparent medium to another medium of different optical density. This deviation, changes in direction in the path of light, is due to the change in velocity of light in different medium. The velocity of light depends on the nature of the medium in which it travels. Velocity of light is more in a rarer medium, that is low optical density, than in a denser medium, high optical density. Refraction of light from a plane transparent surface. When a ray of light travels from optically rarer medium to optically denser medium, it bends towards the normal. So here air is a what? Rarer medium. So when the light ray passes from air to water, water is a denser medium, the ray is bent towards the normal, that is shown in this figure. And next one, when a ray of light travels from an optically denser medium, now the light rays travel from denser medium to a rarer medium. Denser is water and rarer is air. So what happens now? The ray is bent away from the normal line. It is in the center. So ray is what? Away from the normal. That is shown in the figure. Next, a ray of light incident normally on the denser medium goes without any deviation. So that is all lie in the same plane. So that is 90 degree. Laws of refraction of light. Laws of refraction, also known as Snell's law of refraction, that is given in the below. The incident ray, the refracted ray, are normal to the interface of two transparent media at the point of incidence or lie in the same plane. The ratio of sine of the angle of incident to the sine of the angle of refraction is a constant for a light of given color and for the given pair of media. The same thing already we have learned in the laws of reflection. Okay, so if I is the angle of incident, odd is the angle of refraction. So how you can write the formula? Sin I is equal divided by sin R is equal to constant. So this constant is called the refractive index of second medium with respect to the first medium. So it may be a what? Water, air. It may be a glass or air. It is generally represented by the Greek letter mu 2. 1 mu 2, that is sin I is divided by sin r is equal to constant. Mu is the refractive index. So, refractive index of a medium is also defined in terms of speed of light in different media. So, for example, speed of light in vacuum or air divided by speed of light in the medium, that is any medium. So, in general, we'll write 1 mu 2 is equal to speed of light in medium 1 divided by speed of light in medium 2. Total internal reflection. When light travels from denser medium into rarer medium, it gets refracted away from the normal. While the angle of incidence in the denser medium increases, the angle of refraction also increases and it reaches a maximum value of R is equal to 90 degree for a particular value. This angle of incidence is called critical angle. The angle of incidence at which the angle of refraction is 90 degree is called critical angle. At this angle, the refracted ray grazes the surface of separation between the two media. When the angle of incidence exceeds the value of critical angle, the refracted ray is not possible. Since R is greater than 90 degree, the ray is totally reflected back to the same media. This is called as total internal reflection. Conditions to achieve total internal reflection. In order to achieve total internal reflection, the following condition must be met. Light must travel from denser medium to rarer medium, for example, from water to air. The angle of incidence inside the denser medium must be greater than that of critical angle. These are the two conditions to achieve the total internal reflection. Total internal reflection in nature. Mirage. On hot summer days, patch of water may be on the road. This is an illusion. In summer, the air near the ground becomes hotter than the air at higher levels. Hotter air is less dense and has smaller refractive index than the cooler air. Thus, a ray of light bends away from the normal and undergoes total internal reflection. Total internal reflection is the main cause for the spectacular brilliance of diamonds and twinkling of stars. Optical fibers. Optical fibers are bundles of high quality composite glass quartz fibers. Each fiber consists of a core and cladding. The refractive index of the material of the core is higher than that of cladding. Optical fibers works on the phenomena of total internal reflection. When a signal in the form of light is directed at one end of the fiber at a suitable angle, it undergoes repeated total internal reflection along the length of the fiber and finally comes out at the other end. Optical fibers are extensively used for transmitting audio and video signals through long distances. Moreover, due to their flexible nature, optical fibers enable physicians to look and work inside the body through tiny incisions without having to perform surgery. Thank you, children.